Good old Stefan Stanic coming at you live from Serbia. All right. So this portfolio is pretty broad. Let's see what. So what do you think I am lacking in my portfolio? Not counting a bigger stylized environment project in my portfolio. Do you think my portfolio is good enough for some freelance work? It doesn't have to be a specific style or type of work, but definitely game related. And what would you suggest to me to do? Suggest me to do where to find and search for that kind of freelance, preferably game related work. So let's go ahead and look at this portfolio first. Like at first glance, lots of stuff here, of varying types, styles, topics. So this looks like, not that he's going for generalist, like 3D artist. I get confused on the title 3D artist. Oh, you're in chat too. Yes. Oh, Bumby, you want me to tad a bit? Oh, I'll tad. So in general, where do you think I stand in the industry today, and where can I improve, and how can I broaden my horizons / skills? You feel a little bit stuck? That's pretty normal for that to happen. Don't worry too much about that feeling. All right, so right off the bat, let's see how old the earlier stuff is. They're not always in order, but so that's 3 years ago, and the progression goes 3 years, 3 years, 3, 3. So it looks like maybe you were going down a stylized route 3 years ago. 10 months ago, okay, still stylized stuff. Maybe I should go back to this real quick. Yeah, okay. Bit more on the realistic side. Some serious detail work. Blender, nice. That's cool. That's interesting. All right. Let's keep scrolling through here. All right, 6 months ago. Character stuff. You like that, Pixel? Did you catch that? How you doing? Oh, this is cool. Crossbow. Okay, so you've got weapons in here. You've got props, stylized stuff. Let's go back here. Okay, so, and then some characters. So, I mean, obviously take what I say with a grain of salt, of course, right? Yeah, I got to use that Empire theme for sure. So I think you could probably take some of your earlier stuff out. I would start to basically, you know, it's like when you go to the gym and you want to lean up a little bit. You want to become more lean. If you want to specialize, or if you want to not be considered a generalist, it's maybe like stop going so broad, because you're doing characters, you're doing weapons, props. You've got stylized and more realistic stuff. I think those that's fine. If you were to apply to a company that I owned and I were looking at, or if you were to apply wherever I'm working and I'm the one looking at your portfolio, I would actually not. So first off, I wouldn't know what your interest is. Like, I don't know if you like stylized work. I don't know if you want to do realistic work, because what I want to know is if you're going to be happy working for me. You know what I mean? And if I'm like at a realistic art company, like we do realistic artwork, then the stylized stuff won't turn me off, but it will make me question if that's your actual interest, and you're just putting the realistic stuff in to cater yourself to more people. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It just, I think you will have better luck if you specialize your portfolio a little bit. I see that you're separating out, which is really good. I think, let me see here. I think Artstation needs to make a way for you to create SKUs or separate versions of your portfolio based on who you're applying to. right? So if you're applying to a stylized company, you could like uncheck all of your realistic stuff, or the ones that you feel are realistic, and then apply to the company with only showing the stylized stuff. And then at the same time, send a portfolio that has just the realistic stuff to a realistic company. That way there's less chance of confusion and your interests about working there. Because obviously if you applied there, I should assume that you want to work there, right? Unless you're just shotgunning out portfolios to lots of studios, which I also suggest you do, which is counterintuitive to what I'm trying to say. But it's about clarity. And so right now your portfolio is very broad. The quality is like medium quality to like pretty high quality. There's some stuff in here where I'm like, dude, that's freaking cool. Like this is awesome. When I see wireframe stuff, like I see this and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And it's pretty well done. And then when you're showing me the wireframe, then I'm like, oh, that's quite high poly. Like I wonder if he thinks that this is low poly enough for games. Maybe this is for an FPS. Maybe it's a little higher fidelity, or maybe he doesn't understand enough about what is considered high poly and low poly. So be careful when like show your wires if you're confident that your wires show your skill. I actually right now I feel like this is pretty high. You could probably half that without any visual change. But the overall quality of some of the material work and like the stuff that I'm seeing on there is pretty interesting. Man, that's crazy. This looks like a lot of work. This is pretty cool. You could have saved him. You could have saved him. Oh, man. This is for us. Oh, what? It's a pretty huge tree. Oh, yeah. See, okay. So if that's good to know, actually. So let me see. Let me scroll through here. So in that case, I might, I would maybe say like fantasy foliage instead of trees or plants. That way it's like a broader aspect. And then maybe like, yeah, I didn't scroll through all this. Man, there's a lot of stuff in here. This is awesome. Yeah, I think you just need scale. You need a character next to the stuff so we know. Oh, geez, the size of things. Scale is important. Throw in some humans for sure. How's the stream delay, by the way? Stream delay is minimal. Fine for you. All right, cool. Let's see what this. So this is cool. Oh, so this is like a collection of some of the stylized stuff that you'd put together. So the stuff that you feel is quite old, I wouldn't even have in your portfolio. Just put it like, if you get pro, put it in a blog, or make like a WordPress or a Tumblr and just put it over there. Let's check this one out. So I think overall, like the poly count on this one is much more within reason. It's pretty dirty, pretty grunge-tastic. Oh, see, that's nice and clean. That's cool. There's no stream delay. Madness. That's madness. Oh, animated stuff too. That's awesome. Nice. Yeah, that stuff's cool. I mean, it's just a matter of like, so I can tell that this is very, like, this is geometric just by the way that the shapes are kind of put together. And I know it's sci-fi, like paneling and stuff, right? But figuring out how to break away from what looks like a face that was extruded and then brought in or scaled inward, because that, like, you can see when you can see the geometry in it, that's when that's like a little bit of a red flag for me. That stuff's pretty cool. Man, some of these things I'm like, is that in ZBrush? I don't know if it, no, it's just Blender. It's just Blender's rendering because it looks like ZBrush's matte caps. I know that Blender's is pretty matte cap centric, especially nowadays. That is a thick door. Oh man. I mean, I'm happy that you put some details on the inside of that though. Yeah, I think you're at the point where it's like you need to pick a direction. Does that make sense? Pick a direction and you're good to go. I would like another scene, but you know me, I'm super into scenes. Maybe a diorama or something. The characters are kind of an odd placement for what you're doing, unless you want to get into character art. The katana sword is actually really well done, honestly. Like this stuff. I think where it's breaking down a little bit is maybe the material definition, or like these harder edges are pretty tight by comparison of like this tells me it's geometry, right? Or like the edge wear is very even. Oh, nice. Throwing star too. Oh, I totally get that, man. So he's saying makes sense, but it's hard. My brain can't decide where it should want to be headed. Brain headed. Ha. Ha. I guess it's just don't want to be in the same, do the same stuff over and over, and you want to be versatile. Yeah, the details of this are dope. Like that's awesome there. So I don't know if you would be doing the same stuff over and over. A good studio will give you challenges and let you expand your knowledge and not do the same stuff over and over. And some studios, you know, they're going to have you do the same stuff over and over, but you want to get into a studio, right? And then you want to be in a position where you can go home, and if you do have free time, then you can do kind of whatever you want. Chris, what's up, man? How you doing? So, yes, I think it's time to pick a direction. Oh, snap. Dude, 17 months. You're here to judge hard? Nice. How you doing, Chris? All right, let's switch over to the next portfolio and keep the ball rolling.